CM Punk will face off against Samoa Joe in a singles match for the first time in nearly 20 years this coming week on AEW Collision after Samoa Joe successfully advanced to the next round of the Owen Hart Cup Foundation Tournament. Ricky Starks also advances in the Owen Hart Cup Tournament too, along with Powerhouse Hobbs. Sting has been announced for a pro wrestling event in Israel alongside Rob Van Dam. Jeff Hardy reportedly has suffered a dislocated jaw in a recent tag team match. Jade Cargill teases that she's not going to be coming back to AEW anytime soon and may step away from pro wrestling altogether. MJF crashes Adam Cole's Twitch stream now that they're tag team partners and MJF is trying to become his former rival's best friend. And also, Lady Frost could be sticking around in AEW for a little bit longer after her match on Collision this weekend. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about CM Punk facing off against Samoa Joe nearly for the first time in 20 years. The highly rumored and anticipated match between Samoa Joe and CM Punk is official for this coming Saturday's AEW Collision after the Ring of Honor World Television Champion made Roderick Strong tap out on Collision on Saturday. He officially advanced to the semifinals of the men's Owen Hart Foundation tournaments. This past Sunday at AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door, CM Punk defeated Satoshi Kojima to also advance in the tournament to the semi-finals. In the lead up to Punk's return to AEW on the debut episode of Collision, many rumors and reports went around about possible feuds for the former AEW World Champion. After some time with rumors centering around a possible feud with Chris Jericho, it was reported that Punk had requested to work with his former Ring of Honor rival Joe. Additionally, it was reported that Punk had an interest in working with Switchblade Jay White, which came to pass in the main events of the first two episodes of AEW Collision on TNT as well. The other semi-final matches of the tournament has been made official. We'll get into that in just a second. But what are your thoughts on CM Punk finally facing off against Samoa Joe, as I mentioned, for the first time in close to 20 years? And importantly, who do you think is going to win that match this coming weekend on AEW Collision on TNT? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments section below. Now, as I mentioned, the other semi-final match has been set. The first participant in the semi-final is Absolute Ricky Starks. He advanced to the next round of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament on this week's AEW Collision. Starks earned his spot by defeating Rock Hard Juice Robinson of Bullet Club Gold, the faction whose ranks officially doubled in size on Saturday evening. After having the backs of Robinson and Switchblade Jay White recently, Austin and Colton Gunn were officially introduced as new members of AEW subdivision of the infamous New Japan Pro Wrestling stable. However, the Biz Clear's primary power is strength in numbers. While the former IWGP United States champion can certainly hold his own in the squared circle, Robinson got a little bit of help from his friends more often than not. So when his friends were banned from ringside during the match with Starks, he wasn't able to secure the victory. But as soon as the bell rang, White and the Guns immediately came to their partner's aid. Luckily, CM Punk and FTR weren't too far behind as they emerged to stand with Starks against their foes. Now, as I mentioned, who will his opponent be? Well, it'll be none other than Powerhouse Hobbs. Yes, the former Team Taz members will be facing off in the semi-finals of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. After quite a bit of interference from QT Marshall, Powerhouse Hobbs defeated the natural Dustin Rhodes on AEW Collision to advance in the men's side of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. As I mentioned, he will go on to face Absolute Ricky Starks, who defeated Rock Hard Juice Robinson later on in the show. The other semi-final, as I mentioned, is going to be Samoa Joe versus CM Punk. Let's talk about, speaking of the women's side of the tournament as well, the women's bracket of the tournament, that has also continued with both Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale advancing thus far. Last year's winner, Britt Baker, was set to face Ruby Soho on Wednesday in a rematch of last year's final, but unfortunately for Baker, she fell ill and the match was rescheduled for this coming Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite on TBS. So now that we've got our semi-final set, it's CM Punk versus Samoa Joe, it's Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Who do you think wins their respective semi-final matches and gets to the final, and who do you think is going to win the tournament in its entirety too? Let me know your thoughts, predictions, and winner of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament in the comment section below. Now, there's been a lot of talk recently, hasn't there, about Sting participating in a pro wrestling show in Israel, possibly involving Goldberg, and a bit of a retirement tour, possibly, for the WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg. Now, AEW star and WWE Hall of Famer Sting has been announced for an upcoming show in Israel for Global Pro Wrestling Summit, according to House of Wrestling, who first reported the news. The event will take place on September 14, and Sting is being advertised as an ambassador alongside WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi. Those who will be in action at the show include WWE Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam, who will face Frankie Kazarian and Psycho Clown in a three-way dance, while AAA Mega Champion El Hijo del Vikingo will be in action against former WWE superstar Paul London and pro wrestling legend Ultimo Dragon. The three will be vying for the newly minted GPWS Junior Heavyweight Championship. Also in action will be Salicia Sparks, who has wrestled matches for both Impact Wrestling and AEW, former WWE superstar and current MLW star Davey Boy Smith Jr., former WWE superstar Vladimir Kozlov, Pro Wrestling 01 Max star Green Beret Tom Howard. The first ever Holy Land Rumble is also being advertised for Global Pro Wrestling Summit. The event will be held at the Pace Arena in Jerusalem, Israel, and will be the first major professional wrestling event held in Israel since WWE toured the country back in 1994, so all of those years ago. As I mentioned, there had been rumors of Goldberg being involved in the event. As of right now, there's been no announcement that he's going to be there, but certainly things could change. Maybe he's not going to be there because he's already signed with another pro wrestling company. Is that the rumor too? Certainly, again, very, very interesting rumors regarding Bill Goldberg and everything going on with All Elite Wrestling right now. So what are your thoughts? Is it interesting that Goldberg's not been announced for that show? Is that an indication that indeed he could be All Elite in the near future? Now, Jeff Hardy's not on AEW television at the moment because they're in Canada and he can't actually get into the country. And Matt Hardy has suggested that Hardy, his brother Jeff rather, has been injured in his last match. The question is it kayfabe or is it real? Matt Hardy has now commented on the status of Jeff Hardy, revealing that his brother recently suffered an injury on AEW television. It was previously reported that Jeff will be absent from the AEW TV for a while AEW is currently touring Canada and Jeff is unable to travel to Canada due to his history of arrests. Jeff was most recently in action on the June 21st edition of Dynamite, teaming with Matt Hardy in a losing effort against Austin and Colton Gunn. Following the bout, the Hardys were attacked by Juice Robinson, leading to Jeff suffering a dislocated jaw. Speaking on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, Matt Hardy said, quote, "The roll of coins, it dislocated his jaw. They thought it might have been broken, but it was dislocated, so it's looking like only a couple of weeks. So yeah, it is what it is. It's pro wrestling, not ballet, as they say." Now again, this could just be Matt Hardy, working a little bit and trying to play up storyline, or it could be a legitimate injury. We'll have to wait and see, although most people think it's probably Matt Hardy just sort of working. Now, he's also teased a feud against none other than the Lucha Brothers, but not in AEW, but in Ring of Honor. At ROH Supercard of Honor, the Lucha Brothers won the Reach for the Sky ladder match to become the new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. They joined an exclusive list of AEW talent who have captured the prestigious tag team straps for Ring of Honor. With such a high-profile duo holding these titles, this may lead to another AEW tag team wanting to challenge Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo for the belts. The Hardys are one of the most decorated tag teams in professional wrestling history. Despite never winning the AEW World Tag Team Championships, Matt and Jeff have held the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. Speaking on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, the AEW star was asked about the Hardys potentially wrestling in Ring of Honor. He answered, quote, "I think that's a possibility. I think you could see that happening. I heard at one point, maybe some buzz about having actual Blood Brothers all locked up in a match. It's interesting because there are several sets of Blood Brothers in AEW. There's us, the Guns, the Young Bucks, there's Penta and Phoenix, so who knows? We'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, I think another match with Penta and Phoenix, we have wrestled them before, but I think that would be fun to do a little program with those guys. So maybe we'll see the Hardys in Ring of Honor in the future as well. Now, let's talk about other people that are absent from AEW TV at the moment. Let's talk about Jade Cargill, the former TBS champion. She hasn't been seen since Double or Nothing. Now, former TBS champion Jade Cargill has bluntly answered a fan query on Twitter regarding the timeline for her AEW return. After reigning undefeated as TBS champion for 508 days, Cargill finally lost her title and her 60-0 streak to Chris Statlander at Double or Nothing on May 28. With Cargill off AEW TV for little over a month, a fan took to Twitter to express that they miss Cargill. Replying to the fan asking if she was coming back soon, Cargill simply responded, "No." Now, Fightful Select reported shortly after Double or Nothing that Cargill was set for some time off. However, it was not clear how long her hiatus was set to be. Given Cargill's very blunt response, one would assume a return is not in her immediate plans. Since dethroning Cargill, Statlander has defended her championship against stars such as Taya Valkyrie, Lady Frost, and Anna Jas. With AEW preparing for a very busy August/September with All In and All Out respectively, it's unclear whether Cargill will yet to be back in time for either of the events right now. She's also teased, though, stepping away from pro wrestling entirely, which again is very interesting. On July 2nd, Jade Cargill took to Twitter to post photos of herself walking the red carpet at the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards. She wrote the following caption, quote, "Outside of the wrestling bubble is nice. I might stay." Again, teasing that this hiatus may be more of a permanent one. Do you think it is, or do you think Cargill will indeed be back fairly soon? Now, the recent storyline between AEW World Champion MJF and Adam Cole has seen the Strange Bedfellows be put together as a tag team in the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament, and because of that, and the opportunity at becoming AEW World Tag Team Champions in the future, MJF's doing everything he can to become best friends with his former rival. AEW World Champion MJF attempted to take his new friendship with Adam Cole to a new level at the unfortunate expense of Cole's Twitch livestream. After being drafted as tag team partners for the AEW Tag Team Championship Blind Eliminator #1 Contenders Tournament, MJF has attempted to befriend his former rival Cole. However, his latest efforts may have overstepped some boundaries. While streaming on the Chug's Twitch channel, Cole was interrupted by MJF, who called up to talk strategy ahead of their in-ring partnership. Despite Cole's attempts to turn away the champion and resume his stream, an oblivious MJF would not be easily deterred, attempting to pitch ideas on potential tag team moves. After questioning whether Cole was streaming video games like some nerd, Cole finally had enough and ended the call in hilarious fashion. Despite only being paired up on screen for a week thus far, the pair certainly have some comedic chemistry, with this small clip being a great example. While the pairing is undoubtedly entertaining, it's likely the two opposites will eventually collide in the ring for an AEW World title match at some point down the line, especially after their title eliminator bout ended via a time limit draw. Although Cole quite hasn't yet reached the top of AEW's mountain just yet, he has enjoyed great success in his near enough every promotion he's competed in, so maybe, just maybe, he could have an AEW World Championship match in his future. Finally, Lady Frost said she's not going away anytime soon. She has plans to stick around. There are several free agents on or about to be on the market for major professional wrestling companies. With the amount of talented women on the independent scene, WWE and AEW have plenty of intriguing prospects. On the July 1st edition of AEW Collision, Chris Statlander defeated Lady Frost to retain the TBS Championship. This marked another appearance in All Elite Wrestling for Frost since returning in May. Following her loss, Lady Frost told backstage interviewer Lexi Nair that she has plans to stick around in AEW for a while. She said, quote, "I've heard the chirping backstage. Who is Lady Frost to receive a title match? She's only been here for a cup of coffee, but most people love coffee. First thing in the morning, that smell, you crave it. It's versatile, it's bitter, it's sweet, hot, over ice is my personal favorite. So today, I was that cup of coffee. But in the future, I will be a mainstay here at All Elite Wrestling, and I will be a future champion. Trust me when I tell you, there will be no love lost, because I am Lady Frost." So would you like to see Lady Frost stick around in AEW for a bit longer to come? But there you go, guys. It's the latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.